We're getting ready to till the garden and add compost to it. Mark wanted to get everything burned first. And then me and Everett's going to take these panelings off. That's going to go down to this other enclosed building that we're going to build. And we're going to start bringing poop up and start chilling and getting our gardens ready for planting. My onions are actually doing really, really good. So I'm excited to get them in the ground. I can't believe how dry it is already. You believe that? How dry it is already?
Yeah.
And it's just April. It's not even mid-April yet.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have a pretty dry summer.
I think you're right.
This dirt is so hard. And it's not even middle of April already. We gotta put lots and lots of compost. Me and Everest are going to pick up some rocks. So by the time he comes up to this third bed, hopefully there's less rocks to mess with. It looks pretty good. I think this is the rocks that he got tangled up with. Still clay, huh? Deceiving dark clay. Gotta add that compost, make it a little more prettier.
Logan and I went down and got these branches cut off. Now these are ones that I tried out some air layering on last year, and I just let it go all year because I didn't want to, when I needed to do something about it, I didn't have the time, and so I just let them go. And I've checked them this spring, and they all started root, all three of these. And this is a plum. It's growing wild here at the creek, but it's a pretty, I don't know what variety it is, but it's big yellow green colored plum. It's very meaty and it's really good. It's delicious. It makes some of the best prunes we've ever had. Everything's just now starting to bud. So we went and cut these off, and these are enormous branches to try this with. So I don't have a lot of, I guess, expectation out of it, but we're gonna get them potted into some big pots. That way I can keep them here at the shop, keep them tied back, or make sure that they're doing good, and keep them watered and everything. So we're gonna try it and see how it did. You can see there's a ball of roots that formed on there, and the thing's all alive and green. So we're gonna get it right into some into some pots here, and I've got some good compost in the bottom here. This is all stuff that I pulled from up the hill where we had some chicken manure that composted for 2 years. I'm going to cover it with potting soil to get it up full, and then we'll water them real hard, and probably for now leave them up here against the front of the shop. But I am going to have to probably arrange them in a way that they'll have some support so they don't try to tip over. But I think that's what we're going to try to do today. Logan, would you mind holding this for me while I pour the potting soil in? Mm-hmm. Just hold it nice and straight. And then we'll fill it up with this. Okay. All right, how's it feel? Is it standing up?
Yep.
On its own?
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Well, let's do this other big one here. I have no idea if these are gonna work because these are obviously huge, huge branches. But if they do work, that puts me like, I don't know, it puts me like 5 years ahead of the game on growth, at least. Okay, you want to hold this one too? Just nice and straight, and I'll fill it up. Thank you. Oh, that was silly. Okay, how's that one? Is it holding up?
Yes.
We'll let go and let's see. Not quite. Just kind of pack that down. That's better. And then one more that's a bit smaller. One more. I thought about putting these trees just directly in the ground because it's early enough in the season that everything's just now starting to kind of wake up and start pumping water up through the trees and into the tops. And I thought, I bet I could put them in the ground and just let them go. But I really kind of want them to work out well. So I thought if I get them in a pot where I can make sure that it's got good soil and good loose soil so the roots can expand in there and they're not in the clay and trying to fight that compaction, that maybe I can get those roots to further develop and get a lot stronger take on it. So it's kind of the goal. We're gonna hope for the best. And I think there's a high chance that this is going to work. It seems like plums are, generally speaking, are pretty easygoing that way. They don't seem to be quite so temperamental as other trees and plant varieties. We're going to go get the rest of our air layers that I checked most of them about a week ago, and most of them, there's some that just didn't do anything at all. Some of them kind of started to form like a burl around, but nothing with any shoots. And some of those, the limbs look dead. So we're gonna go pick through what we've got and see what we managed to get. We'll take our buckets of fresh water, so as soon as we cut them, we'll put them right in the water, and then get them up here, and we'll try to get them in a bunch of pots. And this is by far the largest, most ambitious ones, these things. There's some apple and pear down there that we're gonna go and see if we can get them. And they were smaller, like this size, maybe not quite that big as that one. So yeah, we'll go get them up here, see what we can do with them. Okay, those 3 big ones over there are the air layered ones. These other two bigger pots and all these small ones are direct cuttings. And I know in the past when I've dealt with this, if you leave too many branches, too much growth on there, the roots don't seem to establish in time to keep the plant alive. Coming back through and pruning off several of these buds and limbs and kind of thinning them down a little bit real quick in an attempt to help it be more successful, and hopefully it'll all take. These little guys will go in the greenhouse, but I'll probably leave them out here today because it's a nice beautiful day, plenty of sun and warmth. This small bunch back right here are all the same variety, and that's one that we made some really nice, really nice plum jam with a few years ago. Bright red plum, and it's that Potawatomi variety. It's the red version. And they really just turned out so tasty that I can't help but think that we definitely want to propagate more of that tree. I'm hoping that by thinning this down, we'll end up with a better turnout. We've had pretty good success in the past with taking cuttings and transferring. It doesn't mean I know anything about what I'm doing. And then I think I'm going to do the same with these. I'll come back through and thin them down, especially in the centers. Kind of open the tree up a little bit and have less there for the roots to try to get started. It should help. These air layered ones I'm pretty excited about to see how they do, because they had a pretty good little root ball on them to start out. Okay, I guess we'll call that good enough. And then we've got some apple air layered ones that we're gonna go see if they did, and I think there's also a couple pairs, so we'll see if we got anywhere with them. Okay, so we had a pretty decent success with the air layering branches. This one and that one are both apples, and they air layered with a nice big fat root ball on there. So I went ahead and took the whole limb, I thinned them down a little bit, but the one you can see is hella tall. I thinned it out on the bottom and throughout the centers, but because it had a big root ball on there, I think it has a pretty high chance of being successful. It's going to feed, those roots are going to feed and really take off in there. Same goes for this one. Had a really nice big root ball. I've pruned it out. It's a little bit wonky because it was that branch was actually laying sideways and most of the growth was facing up. And so I've pruned it out of there. I kind of left it a little bit like it is because I think I can get it, once it comes into growth, I think I can train it. And I think it'll actually stand up quite a bit on its own. But I think I can train these limbs out a little bit to shape it the way I want. So those two were air layered successfully. These two big ones and this one here, those two big ones and this one were also air layered successfully with roots intact. The other two over there are two different varieties. of plum that we took the cuttings from, and I think they're gonna probably do okay. We'll see how they do. Hopefully they take. And then this is all cuttings that we just took as well. 3 of them are apple and 2 of them are pear, something like that. I know this one's pear. These others look like they might be apple, all of them, but there's several different varieties there. Oh, there it is. That's the other pear. So 2 pears and 3 apple still to go. So we're gonna get them potted in here, and those are just cuttings. So I'm gonna get them potted right in and see if we can get them to take, and hopefully they will. I'll thin those down quite a bit because they're cuttings, but we'll get them potted. This is our good composted chicken manure dirt. We'll put that in as a base, get them in and plant around it, and we'll top them off with potting soil. We've already given all that a good drink, and we're gonna give it another hefty drink here in a little bit. And I think I'm gonna leave them all kind of right here in front of the shop for now. Plenty of really good sun. Kind of have, not necessarily a windbreak, but we have the shop as a backing to help hold it. And if they're in a bunch like that, I think they'll do better with any wind that we might get. The other thing that we're harvesting out today is our currants. Years ago, we had kind of made a little bit of a zigzag path right here to come down to the house here, and I pulled these as cuttings from our bushes that I put in and established at our house before we came up here. We've got some black currant and some red currant, and then there's also a red gooseberry plant over here, and I just took them from cuttings and transferred them up here. And it might be a little hard to see them, but they're pretty huge in here and doing great. But I don't want to transfer them necessarily because they're just doing well. I really don't have to hardly water them or anything. They get just enough of everything. So I'm going to get a bunch of cuttings off of these and get them up there and get them potted, and we'll put them in the greenhouse for now and get them started. Everything's starting to bud, so it's a good time to get them cut. Yeah, we'll get them started up there and then probably wait until, I don't know, middle June maybe even a little bit later than that, to transfer them out into the main space. I want to make sure that they get up and started well before I take them, transfer them out of the pots. Reach in there to grab a fistful of grass and leaves and end up with a fistful of thorns, and that's not going to be fun. We also planted a bunch of daffodils back here years ago, so they're coming up right now, starting to pop. It's just kind of neat. Fun little spaces like that we have. I think for now, I'm just gonna start cutting these and throw them in the water bucket. Oh, that's nice right there. We got some that laid on the ground and already put root spurs out, so those are good ones to easy transfer. Try to get into the center of this thing so I can make sure I know what's happening everywhere. A lot of these here, we browse on it a little bit when they come on, but a lot of this, the birds get to it before we get much. We have more than enough here, that's for sure. Yeah, those are easy ones. Look at all that. Well, this is how it turned out. Those are all currants and gooseberries. There's a couple of small plums in the back corner and a few more smaller gooseberries right here. We ended up getting about 9 or 10 raspberry starts off of our raspberry plant down below, and got those transferred directly into the ground because they're already acclimatized and it's a full root and everything. So we just put them in the ground, transferred them, got them where we wanted them. We also transferred 2 elderberries, so we got those in place up there on the hill. And yeah, that's really come together. It was a good day being out in the garden and getting hands in the dirt again. Feels nice knowing it's springtime finally.